Have you ever imagined that there could be another you somewhere, living a completely different life? It may sound like something out of a movie, but what if I told you that there are multiple versions of you out there, in parallel realities? And even more startling, one of these versions might be trying to communicate with you. Yes, that's right. There is a version of you, in another reality, making different choices, and it's trying to send you a warning. Perhaps it has already faced the same challenges you're going through now, and knows exactly what you need to do to avoid mistakes, or seize opportunities you haven't noticed yet. Ignoring these signs might leave you stuck in a cycle of frustration and stagnation. But the good news is that you're here, and I'm going to help you understand and interpret these signs. I'll show you how these messages can change your life, guiding you toward better decisions that are more aligned with who you truly are. If you've ever felt that something greater is trying to reach out to you, stay with me. I'm going to show you how to decode these signs and transform your reality. And now, let's dive into the first sign. But first, just double-check that you're subscribed to the channel, because the upcoming videos will be part of a series of content designed to guide you on your journey to self-awareness. First sign: déjà vu, a window to another reality. Have you ever had that feeling that you've lived a certain situation before? Something happens, and suddenly, it feels like you've been in that exact place, with those people doing the same things. That's what we call déjà vu. The feeling can be intriguing, and even a bit confusing, but it's common. You know you've never lived that moment before, so why does it feel so familiar? Now, what if I told you that this sensation might be a sign of something bigger happening? That, in that brief instant, you might be connecting with another version of yourself, living in a parallel reality? It sounds like science fiction, right? But let's think about it in a simple way. Imagine there are different versions of you, living in other realities. In one of these realities, you might be an adventurer exploring mysterious forests. In another, you could be a brilliant inventor creating incredible things that change the world. And in yet another, perhaps you're a great athlete competing in events around the globe. Each of these versions is living its own life, with challenges and joys, and they're all you. Déjà vu, then, could be as if these different versions of yourself are somehow connecting. Think of parallel realities as different TV channels. Each channel is showing a different story, but sometimes for a brief moment, the signal from one channel interferes with another, and you catch a glimpse of that story. That's the effect of déjà vu. For a second, the realities overlap, and you feel something that has already been experienced by another version of you. Let's imagine a story to illustrate this. Picture yourself playing in a park. It's a sunny day, and you're climbing onto a swing. Everything feels normal, just like any other day. But then, as you start swinging, bam, that feeling suddenly hits. It seems like you've been on that swing before, with that same sky, the same people around, but you know it's the first time you've done it that day. And here's the magical thought. What if, in another reality, a version of you had already done exactly that? Maybe that other version of you already got on that same swing, but in a different universe, a parallel life. Déjà vu could be a sort of message, a way for that other version of yourself to give you a nudge, as if to say, hey, I've already lived this. Pay attention. Interesting, right? But what does it mean for you here and now? Some people believe that déjà vu can be a sign that something important is happening in your life, something you should pay closer attention to. Maybe the moment you feel déjà vu is a turning point, a choice, or an opportunity. And if, when you feel that sensation, you start to pay closer attention to what's around you, maybe that parallel version of you has something to teach you, something you can use to improve your life. Think about it. What if, when you feel a déjà vu, you realize that there's a hidden lesson there? For example, maybe in that other reality, you made a different choice, something that completely changed the course of your life. When you feel déjà vu, you might be invited to reflect on the choices you're making now. It could be a subtle reminder that you're on the right path, or maybe a suggestion to consider other options. Let's suppose you're deciding whether or not to take on a new job opportunity, and suddenly during a meeting, you feel a déjà vu. That sensation of having been in that exact place, with those same people, discussing that topic. This could be a sign to pay closer attention to that opportunity. Perhaps in another reality, you've already accepted that offer and lived out its consequences. Now, you're receiving a hint to think carefully and maybe learn from the experience of that other you. Another example might be a friendship or a relationship. Maybe you feel that déjà vu sensation when meeting a new person, as if you've known them for a long time, even though you've just met them. This déjà vu might be telling you to pay attention to this person, as they may have an important role in your life, just as they did in the life of that version of you in another reality. Of course, we can't know exactly why déjà vu happens, but it can be seen as an opportunity to pause and reflect. Instead of simply ignoring the feeling, why not use it as a moment to pause, to observe what's happening in your life and how you feel? Sometimes, it's in these small moments that major reflections arise. So, next time you feel a déjà vu, try this. Pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and look around. What's happening in that instant? Who are you with? What are you doing? This could be a chance to gain more clarity about something happening in your life, and perhaps even receive a tip from a parallel version of yourself. In the end, déjà vu reminds us that life is full of mysteries, and that perhaps parts of ourselves are spread across different realities, living unique and extraordinary adventures. And every now and then, these realities cross paths for a brief moment, giving us the chance to see the world through new eyes. Who knows what you might learn from these small glimpses into the unknown? Stay alert to the signs and allow yourself to explore this mysterious side of your existence. Second sign, synchronicities. When coincidences carry messages full of meaning. Synchronicities are those meaningful coincidences that seem to happen at key moments in our lives, so well aligned with our thoughts and emotions that they make us question if they're really just chance events. Imagine you're going through a dilemma and repeatedly see the same numbers, words, phrases, or symbols. It could be that in some way the universe is trying to send you a message, and these coincidences are like clues. Synchronicities can occur in various forms, such as repeatedly encountering a specific number, hearing a song that speaks directly to what's on your mind, or even coming across phrases that resonate with an important issue in your life. These events may seem random, but in many cases, they have a deeper meaning and can be interpreted as signs. The concept of synchronicity suggests that these events are not isolated and often serve as a form of communication between different dimensions. In other words, a version of you in another reality might have already faced or overcome the same dilemma you're going through now, and is sending these messages to help guide your path. These coincidences act as subtle reminders that you're connected to something greater, and that the decisions you make might be influenced by these connections. A common example of synchronicity is repeatedly seeing numbers like 1111 on the clock throughout the day. Some people interpret this as a way for the universe to draw your attention to the present moment, suggesting that you're on the right path or that something important is happening around you. These numbers can serve as a signal to reflect on your decisions or stay alert to an opportunity that is emerging. Another example of synchronicity can occur when you're contemplating a big life change, like a new career or moving to a new city, and you start to notice messages that seem to encourage you to follow that path. Perhaps you see an inspiring quote on a billboard or overhear a conversation where someone is discussing exactly what you're thinking about. These coincidences can be seen as confirmations that you're on the right track or as signs that it's time to reconsider your options. The main idea behind synchronicities is that they serve as signs indicating that something greater is at work, something beyond what our conscious mind can immediately grasp. They can be seen as nudges or clues coming from a version of yourself in another reality, who has already gone through similar experiences. This version of you may be trying to guide you to make choices that align more closely with your true purpose. When you start paying attention to these signs and interpret them consciously, you can gain valuable insights into what's happening in your life. These moments of synchronicity are opportunities to reflect, reevaluate your choices, and perhaps even take a new direction. The key is to stay aware and receptive to these messages, recognizing that they may hold special meaning for you. In short, synchronicities are not mere coincidences. They can be a form of communication between parallel realities, indicating that you're connected with other versions of yourself who have already faced or overcome the challenges you're experiencing today. By paying attention to these signs, you may find answers or even discover new paths that you hadn't considered before. So, have you ever heard of this concept before? Did you know this existed? Are you ready to start applying it in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments. Third sign, vivid dreams. Messages from the subconscious and other realities. Dreams are fascinating and mysterious. Sometimes they seem to be just a mix of what we think and feel during the day. But for some people, dreams can be much more than that. Some believe that in certain dreams, we are connecting with different versions of ourselves living in other realities. This happens especially with vivid dreams. Vivid dreams are those that feel incredibly real. The details are so clear that, upon waking up, you still feel as though you were truly there. It can be such a powerful dream that you remember everything. The colors, the people, the place, and even the emotions you felt. Sometimes, these dreams are so impressive that you keep thinking about them all day. But why are these dreams so different? Some theories suggest that when we have these dreams, we might actually be accessing other realities. Imagine that there are other versions of you out there, living different lives. Perhaps in another reality, you live in a different city, have a different job, or even a completely new life. Vivid dreams can be a way of seeing how these other versions of you are living. When you have a vivid dream, it might be that you are connecting with a parallel reality, where another version of you is living differently. Sometimes, the places you visit in your dreams are completely unknown, but seem incredibly familiar. This could be a sign that, in another reality, you have already lived there. And what could this dream mean for your life now? Perhaps this parallel version of you has something to teach you about your choices or the path you are on. Vivid dreams can also provide answers to challenges we face in life. Imagine you're dealing with a problem, and in a vivid dream, you see a solution or experience a situation where everything works out. It could be a hint that this solution is already available to you in another reality, and your dream is showing you how to solve it. There's also another type of dream that's very interesting, called a lucid dream. A lucid dream is one where you realize you are dreaming while the dream is still happening. This gives you the power to control the dream. You can decide what to do, where to go, and even ask questions. In lucid dreams, you can consciously explore these other realities, which is incredible because you can interact directly with these alternative versions of yourself. For example, in a lucid dream, you might see yourself living an ideal life, with a job you love or a perfect relationship. Since you're aware that you're dreaming, you can start asking questions like, "What did I do to get here?" Or, "How can I bring this happiness into my current life?" This helps you understand how these other versions of you may have found solutions to problems you're also facing. After a vivid or lucid dream, it's useful to pause and reflect. Try to remember every detail of the dream. Who was there where you were, and what you felt. These details can hold important messages. Sometimes, our dreams reveal things we don't yet fully understand, but with time, they may make more sense. A good way to better understand your dreams is to keep a dream journal. Write down what you dreamed as soon as you wake up, so you don't forget any important details. Over time, you may start to notice patterns. Maybe you often dream of the same place or a specific situation. This could be a sign that this other version of you is trying to send you a message. Pay attention to these signs and see what they can teach you about your current life. Vivid dreams often bring valuable lessons or even warnings. It could be that a parallel version of you has already gone through situations that you are yet to face. These dreams can alert you to what lies ahead or teach you how to deal with these challenges more wisely. For instance, if you repeatedly dream about a situation where you're experiencing something you really want, like achieving an important goal or fulfilling a dream, this could be a sign that this version of you in another reality has already reached that goal. By paying attention to these dreams, you can align with that energy and bring this desired reality into your own life. While science does not have a definitive explanation for vivid or lucid dreams, they play an important role in our lives. For those open to the idea of parallel realities, dreams can be seen as powerful tools for self-awareness. They help us understand more about ourselves, our desires and fears, and even reveal new possibilities for how our lives could be. In summary, vivid dreams are much more than just images created by our minds. They can be a form of communication with other versions of ourselves, offering advice, answers, and even new paths to follow. By paying attention and exploring these dreams, we can discover more about our potential and the choices we can make to live more fully and consciously. Fourth sign, feeling of displacement. When reality doesn't seem to fit. Have you ever felt that something wasn't quite right, even when everything around you seems normal? It's like being in a familiar place, your home, school, or even your room. But suddenly, you feel that something is out of place. Everything looks the same, but at the same time, you feel as if you're somewhere else or that something has shifted. This strange, hard-to-explain feeling is known as a sense of displacement. The feeling of displacement can be quite disconcerting. It's that sensation that somehow the reality around you isn't entirely aligned. You look around, and nothing appears to have physically changed, yet you still feel a bit out of sync with the environment. This can happen in common places, in the middle of routine activities, or even when you're quietly relaxing. Many people feel confused when this happens, and one possible explanation is that, for a brief moment, you might be tuning in to another version of yourself in a parallel reality. Yes, the idea of parallel realities might sound a bit complex, but it basically suggests that there could be different yous living slightly different lives in other places or times. These versions of you may have made different choices, taken opposite paths, and could be experiencing distinct events. The feeling of displacement, then, could be a sign that these different realities are overlapping. Your mind, for a few moments, might capture fragments of one of these other realities, making you feel strange, as if you're out of place. This feeling can be brief and last only a few seconds, but the sensation is strong enough to leave you intrigued. In some cases, this sensation is confused with what we call depersonalization, which is when someone feels disconnected from themselves or their surroundings. This can happen during moments of stress or anxiety. However, when we talk about the feeling of displacement in a deeper sense, as if it is related to parallel realities, we're referring to something that goes beyond a simple reaction to stress. Imagine you're sitting in your familiar living room. Suddenly, you feel as though you're not entirely there. The sofa, TV, and walls are all in the same place, but you get the sensation that you're in another place or time. Perhaps it's a version of you in another reality, living in a slightly different environment, and your mind managed to capture an echo of that alternative version. This feeling can be short, but it's enough to make you question what's really happening. The feeling of displacement can occur in special moments, like when we're going through important life changes. It could be when you're making big decisions, like changing schools, starting a new job, or even deciding about a new friendship. These moments of doubt or transition are when these sensations may appear more frequently. It's as if, for a few seconds, you're connected with a version of yourself who has already made those choices in a different reality. For example, if you're considering a career change, there might be a version of you in another reality who has already made that shift. Perhaps that version is sending you a kind of sign through this feeling of displacement, helping you reflect on your options. This can be interpreted as a reminder for you to think more deeply about your choices and consider if you're on the right path. Although the feeling of displacement can be uncomfortable, it can also be a chance for self-awareness. Instead of just ignoring this feeling, you can take a moment to ask yourself, what exactly am I feeling? Or, what feels different here? Sometimes, this reflection can help you realize something you hadn't noticed before, like a hidden desire or a fear you hadn't recognized. Thinking of these sensations as a form of communication between different versions of yourself can help you better understand your own choices and paths. Maybe you're living a version of your life that still needs adjustments to align more with who you truly want to be. This type of reflection can open doors to more conscious decisions aligned with your true desires. Many people report that after experiencing these sensations, they are able to make clearer decisions. The feeling of displacement can serve as an alert, reminding you that there are many possible paths, and that in another reality, you may have already explored some of these routes. This can give you the opportunity to reevaluate your choices before making an important decision. For example, if you feel this disconnect from reality while deciding about a new project or a life change, it can be a chance to stop and reflect. Is this aligned with what I really want? This pause can help you consider your options more carefully and perhaps see a new direction you hadn't previously considered. The feeling of displacement may seem scary or uncomfortable at first, but it can be more than just a fleeting sensation. Instead of ignoring it, you can use it as an opportunity to think more deeply about your life and your choices. Perhaps in another reality, you've already made different decisions, and these moments of displacement are your chance to connect with those other versions of yourself and adjust your life to follow a path more aligned with what you truly desire. In the end, this feeling can be an opportunity to better understand who you are and what you want from life. Stay alert to the moments when you feel out of place, as they may be offering valuable clues about what's happening around you, and perhaps even about the other versions of you that exist out there. Alright, let's move on to the fifth sign. But before we continue, I noticed you haven't liked this video yet. This is very important for YouTube to keep sharing our content, so we can continue helping you. So, go ahead and like this video, it's free. Alright, let's keep going. Fifth sign, strong intuitions, the inner voice guided by other realities. Have you ever had that feeling that you should do something, but don't know exactly why? It might feel sudden, almost like an alert inside, saying, go this way. Or be careful. This is what we call intuition. Intuition is that inner voice that seems to come from nowhere but makes us feel something needs to be done, even without logical explanation. Now, imagine this intuition could actually be a message from a version of yourself living in another reality. Yes, it may sound strange, but some people believe there are multiple versions of us in different realities. In those other realities, you might have already faced the same type of situation you're experiencing now, and that other version of you might be trying to help you avoid mistakes or make the best decision. Intuition can appear in different ways. Sometimes, it's a strong feeling that you should do something, even if you don't know why. It might feel like you need to change something in your life, start a new project, or even avoid a situation that seems normal but makes you uncomfortable. This feeling is so strong that it ends up influencing what you do, even without a clear explanation. Some people believe this happens because a version of you in another reality has already experienced something similar. That other version already made this choice and saw what happened. And now, this experience is being transmitted to you in the form of intuition. For example, if that other version took a job that didn't work out, you might feel discomfort when offered the same position, as if your subconscious is warning you of potential issues. Typically, intuition arises at important moments when we're about to make life-changing decisions. This can happen when you're deciding which career to follow, whether to start or end a relationship, or even when you feel something is about to happen and need to stay alert. In these moments, intuition might be a message from another version of you, guiding you toward the best path or warning you to avoid the same mistakes that version made. It's essential to understand that intuition doesn't work like a clear voice telling you exactly what to do. It's subtler, more like a gut feeling or a sense that you know what needs to be done, even if you can't explain why. Sometimes, this feeling is deep in your mind, almost invisible, but it can help you make better decisions. It can be challenging to know when intuition is real or just a passing emotion, like fear or desire. The key is to pay attention to how you feel. When intuition is genuine, it tends to be persistent, it doesn't go away easily, and seems to come from a deep place within you. This is a sign that you should pay attention. For example, you might be about to accept a new job and feel an inexplicable resistance. Even though everything seems fine, something inside tells you it's not the right choice. Or, on the contrary, you may feel unwavering confidence to follow a path that seems uncertain but feels right. These feelings could be coming from a version of you that has already experienced these things in another reality and is trying to guide you. Besides helping you make good decisions, intuition can be a powerful tool for personal growth. Often, intuition guides you toward opportunities aligned with your true purpose. If, in another reality, you have already found this purpose, your intuition might reflect that, showing you the way to live more harmoniously and happily. The best way to strengthen your connection with your intuition is by listening to it. The more you pay attention to it and trust the signs you receive, the easier it becomes to make decisions aligned with who you truly are. Simple practices like taking time to reflect, meditating, or thinking through the decisions you need to make can help you strengthen this inner voice and guide you more clearly. Intuition is a powerful tool we all have but don't always know how to use. It may be connected to something much larger than just our thoughts and feelings. When you start thinking that this inner voice might be a message from a parallel version of yourself, living in another reality, intuition takes on a new meaning. Following your intuition can help you make more conscious decisions, avoid mistakes, and align your life with your true potential. So, the next time you feel that gut feeling or strong sensation guiding you, remember that it could be another version of you trying to help you make the right choice. So, now that you know all this, remember, the signs that a parallel version of you is trying to communicate are all around us. They may appear in the most unexpected moments, like that strange feeling of déjà vu, intense dreams, or even coincidences that seem too significant to be just chance. The important thing is to pay attention. The more aware you are, the easier it is to recognize these signs and understand what they're trying to tell you. It could be advice, a warning, or even a hint about the next step you need to take in your life. And who knows? By recognizing these messages, you can avoid mistakes, seize opportunities, and align your life with what truly makes sense for you. So, the next time you feel something different, don't ignore it. Pay attention, because the universe, or a version of yourself, might be guiding you towards something incredible. Now that you know what to look for, keep your eyes open, because these signs could change everything. Thank you for watching till the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue receiving upcoming content. See you in the next video.